Hello everyone, Jill Francis here with Thinking Out Loud. I've been a bit distracted this last week or so I haven't posted as many videos, mostly because I've been paying attention to this freedom convoy that's been happening, and so that's been very much on my mind. I've been watching all the videos, I've been watching it spread across the world and seeing other, freedom lovers standing up, and it's just so exciting, and I feel the energy of it every single day, and I'm just so excited for the direction that we're headed, and that we are standing up for ourselves. And so this concept of freedom and what that means to each of us has been very much on my mind and in many aspects. And so today I'm thinking about the blame game and how actually the blame game restricts our freedom, even if we don't realize it. And so I want to just talk about that and what I mean by that. And big theme for me is taking responsibility. But the reason that's such a big theme is it's not about like sort of being this virtuous, like I'm responsible sort of stand. It's because that's where freedom lies. And I really believe that. So we can all fall into a trap of blaming somebody. And, we look around and something happens that we don't like in our lives. So we say, well, if you understood, like my parents did this, or if you knew where I came from, or my boss, or I can't do this, or, the economy's bad. And you can go on and on and on and on. My spouse, my kids, my whatever, it doesn't matter. Because we can, if we want to, we can blame somebody for just about anything that happens in our lives. But when you do that, this is a curious thing to me, because I think it reflects something about how you feel about yourself. So what is underneath that? That somehow whatever bad thing happened in your life can't be your fault. You can't be responsible for that. And I think that goes back to one of my earlier videos about loving yourself. But that's not what this one's about. But food for thought there. So this need to blame, because I've often believed, you can't have it both ways. You can't blame somebody for all the bad stuff that happens in your life, and then somehow miraculously you take credit for all the good stuff that happens in your life. It's like, to me, it comes down to this. You are either in control of your life and what happens to you, or that control is outside of you. So when something good happens or something bad, where is it coming from? Inside you or outside of you? Now, personally, I found this concept of being 100% responsible for myself and my actions really liberating. Because here's the thing. If I created something, even if it's something I didn't like, maybe it was a negative circumstance in my life, but if I created it, it means I can uncreate it. I can create something else. So it puts me in the position of power in my life, that power is within me. It's not in somebody else. I'm not sitting here waiting for someone to save me, to rescue me, to give me something that I don't have within me. I create that. And that is standing in our own power. And that to me is a big part of what this whole freedom movement is about as well, is that each of us individually learning that it is us that creates our own reality, and that collectively we're also creating our collective reality. And that's why I'm so excited about the shift that's happening, because I think collectively we are creating a reality that's very different than the reality we've been living, at least for the last couple of years. So when I think about it, a lot of people are very resistant to this idea that because they would say things like, I would never have created this reality. I would never have created a life that looks like this, or some version of that. And it's, I think it goes back to one of those things that whether you want to believe it or not, it actually doesn't matter. You are creating it. You don't have to believe it. You create it every single day by the thoughts that you think, the beliefs that you hold, the actions that you take, the feelings that you have are creating your life. So my suggestion today is to take stock, to take an inventory, take a look. Take a look at your life because you created it. So my suggestion would be take stock of what is happening in your life and what parts of your life are good. Because you know what? I don't care how bad you think your life is. There are good. And even if it seems hard to find that, focus on that, be appreciative, show gratitude, express gratitude for whatever those good things are in your life. Because it is a fact that what you appreciate and what you are thankful for, you will get more of. And then if there's a few things in your life that maybe you don't like, maybe, it could be anything. But again, take responsibility and say, yeah, I did create that. You can figure it out if you want, you don't have to, but just recognize it and know that if you created it, you can recreate it. And so I would just challenge you to just even do that much and to know that you can. And that is the power that you have. So I just encourage you to stand in that power. And I really believe in this concept of, it's like I said, what you say, what you're thankful for, you get more of. What you focus on, you get more of. So even if you have those negative things in your life that you're like, even if you don't want to take responsibility for them, that's fine for today. For now, just quit giving them any attention. Turn your attention away from what you perceive to be a negative thing and turn your attention to something that you can be grateful for. It's sometimes as simple as that. And then by doing that, you will shift the energy. You'll shift the energy around you. If I used to feel like, people will say things like, you're doing all this stuff or you're trying to create your reality. Well, what have you created? What has changed in your life? And maybe nothing manifested outwardly where I could say like, yeah, look at this. I've got $1 million in the bank or whatever it is that people typically, want to see manifested. But always, I could tell you one thing. When I focus on the things that I'm grateful for and stop focusing on the things that are negative, I feel better. And what's wrong with that? What's wrong with just feeling better every single day? So if nothing else, I do think that you will feel better if you turn your attention away from the things that bother you and turn your attention onto something to be grateful for. So I hope that kind of helps. I think I'm going to continue to talk about this a little bit more because it's not just about, it's really not about that blaming thing. It's about standing in your power. And I think that's the important lesson. But I think that we have been a bit beaten down by society, by the programming that we've all sort of experienced throughout our lives. We've been beaten down to a point where we don't think we have power. And so I think that what I want to help and to share as I'm on my own journey of stepping into my power and trying to really embody that and be that, I want to share that with you and encourage you to do the same. And so today, this whole idea about the blame game and are we blaming others or are we taking responsibility for every single thing in our life? Every single thing that shows up in our lives, somehow we're responsible for. And that when we see that and when we start doing that, it is the key to freedom. And so that's why I think this is important. It's that freedom and that the power it gives us to stand up for who we are and know that we have the power to create whatever reality in life that we want to. So move forward in freedom, in love, and taking responsibility. Thank you.